Hey, everyone. Welcome to Money Talks for Women. Thank you for being here. I'm just so excited and thrilled. This is something new I'm starting, and I'm just delighted to have you here with me. Not just women. I know that we have some of my men friends who have joined me, and I say welcome to all of our men friends too, who love the successful women that I'm sure that they are surrounding themselves with. And so welcome to you. Hi, everyone. Hey, I can see Amaral. Hi. Maja, good morning, good afternoon, and love to have all of you chatting. Let me know where you're here from. So happy to have you. Lexington, Kentucky, I can see. Yeah, Alyssa. Hi, Alyssa. Hi, Karen. There's Connie. Hi, Connie. Kathleen, my friend Kathleen is here. I mean, so many people are just so happy that you're all here. And today's a special day for me. Money Talks for Women is a dream that came to me in the middle of the night when I was upset. And I said to myself, what is it that I can do to bring some value to the world, and really take an opportunity of my past, some of the strengths that I've had in my past, some of the opportunities that I've had in my past, and see how I can give back, see how I contribute, see how I can serve the women of the world now. And now more than ever, I absolutely believe, and I want to know if this is your belief too, I believe that now more than ever, it's our turn. That's right, ladies. Do you believe that? Now more than ever, it's our turn and it's our time. It's our time. So let me see you say that in the chat. If you agree, give me some thumbs up, give me some hearts. Say yes, I believe in the chat that is true. So once again, welcome. My name is Lynn Kitchen. It's my privilege and pleasure to be here. Could you believe that we're halfway through 2022 already? I mean, it is hard to believe. There are those of us who are closing the books on the first half of the year and looking at the second half of the year. There are those of us who are looking at what are we going to produce in the year, looking forward to year 2025. I know it's a few short years ahead. And what about thinking about 2030? What would you like your life to be like? So why don't you set a few intentions just now, take a few moments to pause and think about what would be your intention for your life in terms of money and the power that you can bring of financial freedom. I'm sure you're all wanting some of that, right? More of that, that is, to really create wealth for yourself. And how long will that take? And let's think about in the year 2030. So let's just take a moment and set an intention and a moment of pause. And while we're doing that, I'm just going to shout out to my friends here. Hi, everyone. In the chat. Absolutely. Oh, glad you're here too. There's Beth. Hi, Ann Prince, my friend. Mahela. All right. Pamela Drake. Great to see you. Thanks for you being here. Well, I've got some plans. I want to invite you into an opportunity to talk about money. You know, let me ask you this. For the show of hands, I think there's a little hand, raise hands. Let me see a show of hands. How many of you ladies have a hard time talking about money, your success with money, perhaps your lack of success with money? How many of you have a hard time talking about money in general? You see if show of hands. Let's see if you have the ability to do that here. If you don't on this show, that's okay. I don't see the hands, but that doesn't mean, oh, wait. Yeah, okay, there's they're coming in now. There are the hands. Difficult talking about money. And I would ask you a question. Do you have more difficult talking about money to your spouse? Do you have difficulty talking about money to your money advisor? I have had the experience being in the investment advisory business for my first career. It was interesting just how many women had a hesitancy and a lack of confidence talking to professionals about their money. And usually it was a lack of education, it was a lack of confidence, and certainly it was a lack of learning the language of money and all of the different complexities, because as we know, it's a big topic, right? Well, that's why I'm so happy that you're here. I'm so happy that you're here. And even though this is in a webinar format where in this particular hour, we probably won't have a lot of time to talk back and forth, I want to let you know up front now that I've created something special for you all so that we can have smaller, more intimate groups going forward, and I'll tell you all about that. I've planned to create some intimate talking groups where we can actually move into a Zoom where we can speak to each other and have live conversations back and forth. But when we do that, I'll make sure that it's just us gals so that we can be free to talk about what it is that's on our hearts and what it is that we really want to create and bring to the world. So let me just begin by sharing with you a few little tidbits and ideas that I have prepared for you tonight. Of course, once again, welcome to Money Talks for Women. I'd like to, many of you know that I absolutely believe that we are in a new era. I'm calling it the rising economic power of women. We are ready. I believe, are on a new cusp, a brink of brand new possibilities. I believe that this is just the beginning of a new growth era, in spite of what it might look like. And here's a couple of facts. In 2020, statistics show that women actually control 1/3, 33% of all investable capital. How many of you knew that? Oh my goodness. And what about this? By 2035, it's estimated that that will rise from 1/3 up to almost 40%. Now that is an astonishing shift in the economic power that women will have. There are a couple of reasons for that, and I can go into them maybe a little bit later if we have time. But here's my belief. Inside every woman, and this is why I'm creating this Money Talks for Women. Inside every woman, I believe there exists an ace money manager. Now, many of you probably don't even believe that you are an ace money manager. And I am saying to you, yes, you are. You have a lifetime of money management already accomplished, and you have a lifetime of money management in front of you to get even better still. But there is an ace money manager inside of you, and that's what we're going to have fun to bring it out. Also, I believe that it is time to build financial freedom for women, more financial freedom for women, and that includes you. And I believe it's time for us to lead with our knowledge, with our strength, our families and our world forward. Well, many of you remember that I have a wonderful mother who just turned 99. Her name is Polly Ann Baird. And once again, thank you to all of my friends who have been reaching out to me in the last year or so with well wishes and so forth. For Mother, Polly Ann just turned 99. And I can say that in a 99-year time frame, this is what the stock market looks like this is a chart of the Dow Jones Industrial Average over 100 years. And you can just be tickled pink to think that my mother saw every one of these squiggles and squigs, even though she may not have known what it was going on or why it was happening. She felt the impact. She felt the economic impact, as all women have in the past, as you have, I am sure. But you can just go back to the very, very left side of the chart and see that, you know, the big downdraft there, it certainly was the crash of 1929. We've never had a crash like that since. But right in the middle of the chart was a very interesting long-term period, almost 50 years of a sideways movement in the markets, only to be followed by 3 phases of giant bull markets where we are today. And it's extremely important for us all to look back so that we can understand a little bit of history in order to look forward and create our future. I do believe that we are, even though it may feel rocky, we need to get ready as women. We need to get ready as women to take this opportunity to get our financial houses in order, to come together, to talk with each other about money, what it is that we want money for, what it is that we want to achieve and accomplish with money, with wealth. What is it that we want to build for the future? How do we want to leave the next generation? Do we want to leave the next generation even more financially stable than what we inherited? I think that that's a challenge, that when we're at an inflection point right now, and I do believe that women will have the power to shift that inflection to the positive. And only the future will tell. And of course, famously, Steve Jobs would say, you really can't see the reality until you're looking in the rearview mirror and connecting the dots. Well, that's true. That's why I really love looking in the rearview mirror historically, especially financially. Financial history is one of my hobbies, actually. And it used to be my career. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. When I went through college, my parents just were at this particular time where they couldn't afford to send me to college. So I did everything I could to earn my own way through college. I sold books door to door. I sold programs school to school. I sold advertising store to store. I did everything that I could think of or find that was any transaction that moved to get myself through school. And I did. And once I got out of school, I noticed that I was still broke. And so the one thing I needed was more money. So I asked myself an interesting question you may want to ask yourself at all times. It's still a valid question. What would I do if I really wanted to maximize the amount of money that I am capable of earning today? What would I do? What value can I bring to the world that would equate to value creation? And so at the time I said, well, I need money. Why don't I just learn about money? Why don't I go into the money business to learn about money? And so right after I graduated from college, I went into the stock market business as a young, new stockbroker. And that was no easy feat, let me tell you. It was 1975, I believe. And at the time, women were not allowed to be a stockbroker right out of the gate, you know. You could be a secretary to a stockbroker. Once again, this was the pre-qualified era. That was the time when women were, you know, just really not could be trusted with the possibility of managing money, really, not really. Okay, just maybe halfway. Okay, so we'll put the women in as a secretary or a back office professional, but not, you can't be the decision maker, the frontline person that the client needs to be protected from. Yeah, okay. However, I was knocking on doors until I found a stock market manager, brokerage firm, major brokerage firm manager who felt, well, I don't know if he felt sorry for me, but he gave me a chance. And I think the only reason he really did give me a chance right out of college, to, untrained, but just to jump into becoming a stockbroker, is because I convinced him I could sell, for one thing. But the other thing is that he had 3 daughters. And he said, I hope someone, when they're ready for the job market, will give them a break. So I'm going to give you a break. Of course, he put me on probation, which meant that for the first year, I had to make sure that I, met my targets. And, I probably don't think that any of the other guys were put on probation when they were hired as stockbrokers right out of college. No, but I was. Doesn't matter. I succeeded. The first year of my career, I succeeded so well that by the second year, I was hired by an even better major national company, until I decided that, I'm giving them the majority of my commission paycheck. Why don't I do something on my own? So I did. And I was one of the first women on the West Coast. There were women on the East Coast that were advancing fast, but I was one of the first women on the West Coast to open my own broker dealership. This was significant historically, and looking back again at the dots in the rearview mirror, I really don't know how I had the courage to do that, but I can tell you one of the ways that I had courage was I had a good mentor. I had a mentor who happened to be a man. He had had his own broker dealership in on Wall Street as a young man himself. And he said, well, if you really want to make more money and put most of the commission dollars in your pocket, you should go out and and open your own broker dealership. Whereas at the time, everyone said, you'll get killed if you don't have an entire army of analysts behind you making the decisions, because after all, women can't make the portfolio decisions, plus have the analyst telling them all about what the economy is doing. We're not smart enough. Well, I said to them, what if I could? What if I could? Actually, I said that to myself first. What if I could? What if I could? And I did. So looking back, it was a pretty courageous thing to do. I built that business. I sold that business. I entered another business as a partner, one of 3 owners of an investment advisory firm. And so I had a total of 34 years as an investment advisor. I had a great career. And at the same time, during that time, I also taught investment classes to adults at the Pacific School of Finance. And we taught our clients how to make sound investment decisions based upon facts. And that's a skill set that I recognize I still have today because I've been using it all my life. And I thought, I could be imparting that skill set to other women now. Why not? Because I'm starting to feel like each one of us can recognize what value we do have, what skill sets we do have, and we can bring them forth and help others. So this is what I'm doing. I'm bringing forth the opportunity to you, my friends, to see what we can do together, to see if we can create an opportunity to talk together about our money. Here's what I'm going to ask you. Would it be okay? Would it be okay with you if your money life got a little bit more interesting? Would it be okay with you if your money confidence grew to be a little better? Yes, yes, yes. All right. Absolutely okay. Would it be okay with you if you started now and you decided that even with a little bit of stretching and learning, that it would be worth it to you to begin now to create real wealth, long-lasting wealth, which I really feel is generational wealth, something that you can leave to your children? Would it be okay with you if you start now? And, we'll we'll start together. So here's what I'm wanting to just take a moment and share with you a couple of plans that I have that I want to invite you into going forward. It's called Money Talk Mastermind. So what I'm wanting to do is invite those of you who would be willing to join me. And this is an inaugural Money Mastermind, a short term, where there is hope, where you can create financial freedom. And all you have to do is begin. And congratulations, you're actually here tonight. So you are beginning. This is a beginning. So let's talk. Let's talk financial freedom. Let's bring that into our language. Let's bring that into our language lexicon. Not financial ruin, not the, oh, woe is me, and the boo-hoo and the baha. No, let's begin to talk what it's going to take to become financially free. Are you ready to take control of your financial future? Why? Because I believe that with just a few little shifts in your mindset and some smart money practices, you can start to live the life of your dreams. So what's included in the mastermind that I'm putting together, and I'm inviting you into 3 weeks. It's a 3-week mastermind, and we're going to meet once a week for 3 weeks. We're going to start out. The step one is I'm going to invite you into a personal call with me, a personal discovery call. And I want you to book your 30-minute call with me on my Calendly calendar. And while we're on that call, we're going to review your current money situation, where you are currently, some of the problems you may be having. We're going to review your 3 primary goals in the future, the things that you want to build. And then we're going to determine a few objectives for your investments. And that may sound like a lot, but we're going to begin with an overview so that for the next 3 weeks, you can have a start, and you will be amazed at the confidence and the clarity that you can grow just by being in the presence of other like-minded women and being in the presence of someone like me who's actually been through the rocks and the rolls of financial planning and has a great deal of experience under my belt in helping, guiding. As a matter of fact, I was portfolio manager to high net worth individuals, corporations for 34 years. So I'll be bringing some of my personal knowledge to you. So in the first masterclass, this is going to be a 3 weeks. I have a theme. I'm going to have a theme. The first week is going to be money power is you. We're going to redefine your thinking about yourself. I know some of you might think, well, you know, I'm not good with numbers. I can't attract money. You know, it's too hard. Well, what if you actually have more power than you think you do? You have idea power, you have earning power, you have learning power. And if by giving yourself a little bit of a chance, I believe that inside every woman, as I said before, is an ace money manager. You just don't know it yet. And with a little bit of polishing, it's amazing what you will be able to accomplish and achieve on your own. The second class, I'm going to put the theme on your money vision and the investment tools that you'll need. Now, I'm using the word class, but I don't really mean class. I'm going to do a little teaching in these sessions, but it'll be half and half. I'll do a little teaching, but then the rest of the session will be real talk. It will be you speaking about your reality to other like-minded women. So in class number 2, your money vision, we'll talk about the investment tools that you're going to start to need and to understand what the value of money over time means, the power of diversification, and then, of course, understanding what you own in the investment portfolios that you already have and how it's working for you. And sometimes just a little tweak here and there puts you on a new road to money mastery. And then the third class, we're going to do a little bit of long-term wealth building. These are strategies. These are skill sets. This is not rocket science. But usually what's really tough is that people put a plan together and they don't follow it. Well, things change. I get that. I understand that. But now more than ever, women need a plan that has a longer term view for a better life, because we've got dreams. So in this, you're going to be able to learn what it is that you need to retire at any age, what you will be needing at your age, the best way to manage a retirement fund. I'm sure many of you have retirement funds already. And what are the best investments at a particular age? So I'm going to welcome you to this particular 3-week series. And we're going to do a lot of supporting of each other, where it's going to be an opportunity for you to ask questions. There are no stupid questions. They don't exist, not in the money world. The idea is to be able to talk well, ask well, and ask brilliant questions that, I'm hoping that I'll receive some questions that I don't know the answers to, so that I can then dive deep and we can all learn more together. Does that sound interesting to you? Does that sound interesting to you? Does that sound interesting to you? If it does, what do you have some thoughts on that? Yes. Okay, here are the yeses. Yes, it sounds interesting. Okay, thank you. Yes, that sounds great. Absolutely. Even if we're in the mid-50s, especially if you're in your mid-50s. Why? Is because the longevity of women's life is getting longer and longer. And by the way, that's one of the reasons why women will be controlling more of the international wealth going forward. I mentioned to you that right now, women as a whole, statistically, own 1/3 of the investable capital. And statistics show that we will be moving into 1/4 by 1935. 1/4. That's a huge. Why? Because we're living longer. Women are living longer. We're working in the work field longer. We're also inheriting the next a massive amount of money will be shifting and changing hands in the next 20 years. It's an amazing amount of money that's going to go into women's hands, whether it comes from the generation before you or from men, perhaps your spouses and so forth, because our lifespan is longer. So the women usually inherit that money. And I believe that if you give women some more money, we do good things with it. How many people agree with that? Show of hands. Show of hands. Do you agree? If you give women some money, we do good things with it. Nothing bad happens when you give women more money. This is what we need to realize. I believe this is a shift. I had a huge awakening this last month. I think it was, yes, it was politically inspired, but I really realized that now more than ever, women need more smart decision making, and we need a longer term view. No more of this short term stuff, because if we invest in quality, and we always do, we know the value of things. We do as consumers. We are so smart. We've got a history of it, ladies. You know this stuff. You know a good bargain, but you also know value. And if you can know value, you can buy right, you can hold for the maturity of value over time. And that maturity compounds and compounds. So what I'd love to do is show you just the other piece of the puzzle here. Let me bring this up. All right, so here's my offer is it's just a 3-week mastermind. It starts with a discovery call, a 30-minute call with me, which, by the way, is I know many of you have already had a call with me, which has been so fun. And we've done an awful lot of great work together. So here it is. This is a one-time only inaugural offering. It'll never be this such a bargain ever again. But I'm doing this for a reason. I'm wanting to help those who really want to get started. This is a 3 weeks, so we'll figure it out. When you talk with me, we're going to have that private talk first. I'll be able to pre-qualify you as to what group that you can go into. I'm going to divide you up into small groups of maybe no more than 8 people, maximum 10. Ideal group size will probably be, something around 7 to 10, so that you can, and you'll also be matched with the same level. For example, if you've had a lot of investment experience, you'll be matched with those other women who are like-minded with a lot more investment experience. And if you haven't had a lot of investment experience, I'm going to match you with people who are so that you can speak and talk and really relate with other ladies who are in the same like-mindedness. So we're going to take 3 weeks. Once you have your discovery call with me, I'll match you up into small groups, and then we'll figure it out on the calendar. We'll take 3 consecutive weeks. It might be Monday nights. We'll figure out what nights it is and what times, to be determined, no problem. So you'll get to have 3 one-hour sessions with me as your guide, and also with each other as money talk experts, and being able to determine what it is that's going to help you move into your next, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years of money mastery. So let me just now, before time runs out, we just have a few minutes left. I'm going to put in the chat where you can go to sign up. I'm going to get the link here in just a second. But while I'm doing that, has this been of value to you? Have you enjoyed this last hour of power, everyone? If you have, put a thumbs up in the chat for me so that I can see a thumbs up in the chat. And then thumbs up. Great. So if you received some value, I want you to know how much I have appreciated your being with me, a witness to a brand new beginning of my own. I'm reinventing myself on behalf of women. I believe that now's the time. And so can you see the invitation is in the chat? The link is in the chat for those of you who wish to join me in the next 3 weeks. We'll probably space it out over the next 4 to 5 weeks, just to be fair. Anyway, by the end of the summer, so that you will have, you're not seeing the link. Let me see if I can put it here again. Thank you, everyone. It's top of the hour, and I so appreciate you being with me on Money Talks for Women.